Hello, it's Sarah. I have a project share. I did this canvas and I'm still just not really sure whether I don't know if it's too whimsical. It says believe in your dreams and it's a castle on a cloud, and I added some of the things I've learned in the classes, like this is a sun but it's got a flower around it, and I just added some white around the edges, and Kate Crane has done this too, and so did Jody Ole, and just to kind of have white along with the cloud. And I used a different palette. Kirby! She probably wants her ball. I used this bright blue. This is called Ultramarine and it's by Galleria. I've been trying to pull out these paints that I've had forever. I used my go-to bubblegum pink and my cad yellow, and then I used magenta to shade. Pretty much that's it, and then black and white. So you can mix black and white into everything to kind of... Alright, I guess I should see what's going on. Alright, she wanted her ball, and it was very gettable. So I did the background very similarly to the way Jody Ole did it in the what is it? Who Are You class. I'm pretty sure, because now things are starting to muddle together. So I'm just kind of doing it whatever I think of. I'm loving the drippage and the spatter. I spattered with pink and white, and I did blue drippage. So I am starting to incorporate that stuff. I used my dip pen, where is it? This guy. I guess it's more of a drawing nib or a sketching nib. And I don't know, I had kind of Valentine's on my mind, but hearts are cool, and I wanted to make a pink castle, and it is what it is, So I was wondering if I could definitely put something like this in my new art journal. So I am going to grab it, and I want to show you a cool texturing technique to texture. Let me get a couple of pieces of deli paper. I could actually just use, I just want to put these, I don't think I'll be too messy, but you want some thick parts and some thin parts. Really just a piece of paper would probably go back there better. Let's see. Of gesso. So you want some thick parts because we're going to heat it up with my heat gun. So I'm going to get some gesso and put it on here. I'm just going to go right onto the paper so that it'll have thick parts and thin parts. And I'm going to get a pretty big brush and just start to coat the paper. I'm probably going to need more. So I'm just going to be not really pushing too hard, which is rare for me because I do push hard usually, but I want there to be some thick parts and some thin parts. That's the idea. So look, that already covered. Just going to put a little bit more. I'm going to have to put my hairband on because my hair's getting in my face. And if the phone rings, I gotta get it because it's Joe. He's in Alaska. So, alright, so I'm just leaving little textury areas of thick parts and thin parts. And, alright, so I'm gonna let's do it. You kind of gotta do it while it's wet. I probably could just let it dry a little bit. But we'll see what happens. I'll force it. Let me put my hairband on. And what it's going to do is these cool, I don't even see, I know you can see these bumps. It makes bubbles and it just gives the canvas this really cool texture. And I actually, before I painted in when I was just doing the background, you can kind of dry brush over them and it leaves that kind of, see how it gives that like where the blue is on the orange there? Anyway, it's cool. I liked it, so that's why I'm showing you. And so I'm just going to do this, start to get it dry, and then I'll zoom in and you'll be able to see when it actually makes bubbles. And those texture marks are just going to stay there too. See, look, it's bubbling. Can you see it? It's so cool. Let me zoom in a little more. See it? Like blistering, right? If you get too big of ones, you just pop them, because you don't want them to like, look, now they're really starting to, you really kind of have to give it a minute because it looks like it's dry, but then all of a sudden it heats up and it starts to blister. Alright, so I'll finish doing that and I'll be right back. So I finished, it's dry, but I'm going to add a little bit more in a couple places. And then I'll do those places, and that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. And then my piece is prepped, but I can also get some cool texture. That was a good one. Hey, even if it looks dry, you can get bubbles out of it. Alright, I think I'm good. I like it. It's got some good, and you just kind of flatten out the big ones. And I'm going to let that dry. But yeah, it gives it this like bumpy texture. It's really cool. So I like that. The next thing I'm going to do is add color. This book looks like it. This is the Diane Reevely, the 8x8 Dilutions journal. So I'm just trying that because I'm going to use a lot of different media. And excuse excuse me. I'm going to do the same color palette that I did the other piece, my canvas with. So I'm just putting all these brushes in a, I just have all the brush, my go-to brushes in a kind of like a mason jar. And I'm going to use this big one, I think, to put my paint on with. And I'm going to get the paint out. And really it's just going to be pink, yellow, and blue. And what's it called? Glazing medium. So I'm going to put a little bit of pink, a little bit of yellow, and this blue, which is called, whoops, the ultramarine blue. And it's a very bright blue. Because it's better to start your layers thin, sheer, because you can always build up color, and that's what we'll do with like our stamps and our stencils and all that stuff. So yeah, this feels pretty cool. Oh, glazing medium, and I just put the glazing medium like in the middle of this like palette. I've had this forever, and I kind of just dip into it when I want to. Yeah, I'm just going to use this big brush, and I'm going to load it with the glazing medium first. Like, I'm just going to get that on my brush first, and I also have my paper palette here. Let me get another paper towel. And I'm just going to, so let's go into the blue first. And I'm going to go a little heavier with the blue, I think. Although, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So I'm kind of going to blend them together on my palette over here. Let me see if you can see this. So yeah, this is not straight color. It's more like, with the glazing medium, it becomes very transparent. So it's not as opaque as it would normally be. So that's how you kind of start out. And see how the bumps that I made are like catching the paint a different way? So that's why I like that texture. So that's good. I'm just going to leave that, and then I'm going to go into, so pink and blue make purple, right? So that'll be okay if I cross them. Like if they cross, it won't make mud. So that's really the only thing I try to make sure of, is that I'm not going to make mud. And this is a very soft pink. But if I get it on the blue and it mixes, it won't. See, look, there it got, I have blue on it, but it's okay. I'm going to put some over here on purpose. And then I'm going to put yellow in the other places, but I think I want blue down here, because I'll put, I don't know, I'll put yellow because we're going to blend it out. Now, yellow and pink make orange. So that's how I got that orange on the canvas, and I loved the way that looked. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get my brush with the glazing medium, grab some yellow, and put that on my canvas. I'm going to put some up here. And blue and yellow make green, so I don't really want a ton of that. I'd rather have the orange because it's a sky. And a lot of this will get covered because I'm going to paint in my, let's see, what color should I make the castle? Actually, I think the way I did it was, I basically just, whatever color was behind the castle, that's what I ended up painting the castle. So see how I just went right over that yellow with the pink and it turned orange. So I kind of lost my yellow, but I'll try and put some more back up there. And it starts to get heavy. You don't want it to be mud, so we might have to give it a rest. But I'm going to put a little yellow like on top of the blue. And that way, all right, that's a lot going on. I'm going to stop. And You can flick it with water, or just kind of put some water drops on it and let it sit for a minute. Ooh, getting a tissue. But I like this palette. It's pretty. And when I start to see that the white behind the drops, I'm just going to lay this on there. And see, it picks up. And actually, it probably does an even better job because this is the Diane Reevely journal, and this paper is meant to use for ghosting and stuff like that. So that looks pretty cool. I'm going to dry it a little bit. So now I'm just going to take plain old white and rub a little bit of white to kind of blend it. I'm going to get my finger a little bit wet and take so that the white paint will slide easier. But I don't like some of the, this looks a little muddy. So I'm just going to kind of whiten it up a little bit. And see, when you kind of touch the bumps and stuff, if you go softly over it, I need a little water, it'll do a dry brush effect. Like right there, watch, I'll try to, there's bumps there, so I'll just go lightly. Didn't really do anything. I love that orange. So I'm just kind of blending them a little bit. And making some, like it's going to be cloudy in the sky, right? That's my thought anyway. The castle's going to be kind of in the middle. Alright, now we're going to do some stamping with the white, with my little homemade stamps that I made. So I'm going to put some more, I'm putting some white paint on my palette and kind of making it, spreading it around a little bit so that the stamp, I'm going to use this. This is actually, I have one that's a rubber stamp that I made, and this is like a foam, kids foam. So I'll try the kids foam one. And I think a sun. See, I forgot about that. I could have put like yellow up there. Well, that is kind of yellow for this, the sun. So that's a little big. I have this. Now, again, I'm just dipping this in the paint. And you can do it with other colors too. But I'm going to do some stenciling, some circles. Let's do I have this Punchinella. It's the sequin. I think I'm going to add back, I'm going to put some yellow up here, definitely. And I just like to use like an old scruffy brush that's like, really it's not good for anything, but like I might use it to put glue on stuff. It's really kind of in bad shape. And I'm going into the yellow, and then I'm going to pounce it off and kind of take the paint off. I don't want a lot of paint. just like when stenciling, but I'm just going to kind of dry brush over that area and make it a little yellower. Cool. Maybe a little bit over here. And on top of the white, it'll show up, you'll get the yellow better. See? Turning a little green, but I like that. And then that's a good yellow section. So I have yellow. You know how I like to go in threes. I kind of want to do more blue, but I think I'll do that at the end. Or, see, here's what I did with the letter stencil. And I actually used a sponge. Where's my sponge? Here it is. So I'm going to just take a little bit of the blue, and actually, should I put, I'm going to dip it in glazing medium too. So I don't want it to be really opaque, but it will be. I'm going to go a little bit. We'll see. We'll see what happens. That's good. A little crooked, huh? Right on top of that yellow, but it'll only be cool. I like that. What else? I think I could put a little bit more pink, but I think we're good. Maybe just pink circles. Oh, you know what we could just do? Yeah, I'm going to do the pink real quick. And then I'm going to do some bottle caps. Should we do black? I didn't add black to my other one. I just kept it the blue. The blue is my bright color. I just want to add some of this pink, but like brighter. Just on where the pink areas are. I like that. This should actually probably be blue, but I like it. So far, so good. I could do one more thing. I'm going to do the blue. So I'm going to use this piece of plastic canvas. It's just cut into a circle, and I'm taking the blue, and I'm just making it into a kind of a thinned out area on my palette, and I'm going to dip it in there. And then I can add blue to places where, because it is the sky, I don't want it to be cool, right? I think that's enough. Okay, let me think. I could do some drippage. I like doing drippage, and some spatter. So let's try it. For the drippage, do I want to do, I think I'm going to do yellow. No, because I did the blue, and I kind of intentionally dripped it over the pinker areas and stuff. I love this color right here. Oh my gosh, I just love it. Let me think. What do I want to do? Like blue drippage down there and here. I think I'm going to do it. Alright, so all you do for drippage is, again, get your big brush. And this is at least a 1-inch brush, maybe a 1.5. And you get water, fill it with water, and just really a tiny bit of paint, and just get it to be drippy. And I'm going to turn my, take this out. Just going to pull it across that area. And my brush wasn't totally wet. Sometimes you can take your water bottle and help it along a little bit. And I think I'm going to actually stop it. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. Drippage is definitely new to me. I've never really done it on my mixed media, and so I'm very glad that now I'm trying it. You know, people love drippage, and they put, I need more water. They use inks too, and I forget the name of those inks, but I may invest. I'll use next time there's a 55% off coupon, I'll use one and get maybe the primary colors or something. It's an acrylic ink. So let's see. And this will probably just get covered because my castle's going to be there. But it's just a subtle extra added thing. And then we'll do some spatter. So I like to use a fan brush. I have this, it's like a, oh, let's see what it says, a Shui fan, and it's like that stiffer bristle type fan brush. I'm going to definitely do some blue spatter, and again, you get your brush really, really wet, and just like we did, and you just take your, let's say, I'll just take, no, I'm not going to use that, I'll just use one of these. That is so cool. I've had really good luck with the fan brush. It makes a nice variety of different spatters. So, can you see that? So that's what we have so far. Got a little bit on this page, but that's okay. So I'm going to let that dry and think about what else I might need to add. I think that's it. If anything, I'm just going to add a little more blue along my binding area. And yeah, I could add drippage all around the page, so it would drippage all around it, but I think we're good. So yeah, so I'll be back. Alright, hubby's good. He's in Alaska. He's in Anchorage. I think I'm going to change one thing on here. I'll tell you about him in a minute. I think I'm going to do, no, I like it off. I like it over a little. Alright, hold on. I know you really can't see any of this, so it's kind of pointless, but I want to change. I just want to make this roof, because I'm going to make this house. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm leaving it where it is, because this one goes all the way to the end. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Alright, so now to paint this, what I'm going to do is add glazing medium to all my colors to make them super sheer. And I actually, oops, I just flicked glazing medium everywhere. I'm going to add a little bit of white to the blue. Instead of making the door that dark, dark blue and the roofs the dark, dark blue, I'm going to lighten them up a little bit because then I can shade them with the darker blue. So let me grab, I like this little flat brush. This is around like a number 6. And I'm loading it with the glazing medium and a little bit of that dark blue and then a little bit of white. Oh, excuse me, I'm drinking soda. I shouldn't do that. So now this is kind of a very pale and maybe too pale blue. And maybe I'll go away and do this off camera because it is time consuming. And I'll come back on when like I'm right to the end and show you like the shading and stuff. I know you guys like to see how I do that. Hello, I'm having a hard time. I know my camera's overhead and I hope I'm not sticking my head in it. But like that's I like that a lot. Like that's gonna tone, I'm gonna do the door that color too. And it's just a sheer baby blue that I mixed, and it's not even that sheer, it's kind of opaque. It's pretty opaque actually. And I love using a flat brush for this because you can use the chisel, which by that I mean like this part, the like flat edge of it, like the blade of a knife, and really kind of make straight lines, and it's just fun. It's fun to use the tools the way that they were intended. So there's that, and then I'm going to do this roof. Oops, stick my finger in it. So I need to mix a little bit more, which, you know, probably isn't that big a deal because, and then a little bit of glaze right here, because they'll be similar enough, because that's really all I did with that blue. So now I can maybe make a blue flower or just change it up. Well, I'll show you. So this is going to be, and when you touch that pencil, see how it blends into the color and you get that like natural shading. You get a shading. So what else was I going to do? So that's it that I'm going to do the blue. These roofs, or it's only one of them. You know what, I think I'll just do that the same color. Yep, I'm going to do that the same color too. Because my other piece I have 2 roofs. I have, like, look, I have 2 roofs. So this I just have one, so I'm just going to make it blue. And it'll be fine. So, see, look, if I just push right up against that pencil, it starts to melt. The ink melts a little bit, the pencil ink, and it'll start to make a black line, which is really cool. And yeah, I like that. And then I'm going to shade the roofs with the straight ultramarine, and that should make it pop real nice. No matter what I do, I get crooked lines. Oy vey. All right. And then I'm going to do, what was I going to do? Fuchsia. I'm going to do all of these pink, and I'm going to do these 2 fuchsia. Okay. So, and again, I'm going to mix it with the glazing medium because I want it to be sheer. I don't want it to just be opaque. And I want to do, yeah, magenta is just those 2. So I'm loading my brush with the glazing medium, and then I'm loading it with the pink. So it's a brush mix of 1:1 about. And you know what I should have done though? I should have put my windows in first. I'm going to just draw my windows. I'm going to put a window here. And I'm going to put 2 windows. Oh, you know what I should do? Put one over here. And because the background's bumpy, I get bumps. It's hard to draw. One there, and then these are like even tinier. So let's see. These are just really tiny. Because I'm trying to go for perspective. They kind of get smaller as they go. And this one I'm going to put a circular window. And I want to put, oh man, right on the bumps, I wanted to try and put a, these 2 are going to be magenta, right? I was going to put a chimney there. This is really a fun way to paint though. Like, I am liking this because when I used to base coat decorative painting projects, they would take 2, 3, 4 coats of paint, because I paint with very thin coats of paint to get it opaque. You like wanted it opaque, but like this is so cool because you see all the, like, see how we're seeing that blue is going to come through. I just think I really like it. Like my eye likes it. Sometimes, like I don't know if my husband likes it. He's much more logic based guy, and I'm more emotion based. And so I think he likes to understand what he's looking at more. Like I don't have to understand it. If I like the color, it stimulates me. It's like, it's good, you know? But for him, he's kind of just like, well, why is that like that? So it's probably not as fun to be him. No. I don't do that. I just like, now this is, I just have to look a little closer because I'm trying to get in these little teeth that I made. All right, good enough. But yeah, he's in Alaska. He left, it's like 2 o'clock there, and I guess it's 6 o'clock here. I think it's a 4-hour difference. And he works for the FAA, so he's doing some, it has to do with air traffic, and he's fixing the system, helping them fix a system. They're trying to put a new system up or something. I don't know what he's doing. He's very smart guy. All right, so look how pretty. Can you see that? Because it's so sheer, but I love it. And when we get the shading on there, OMG. Should I do this? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do, this is bubblegum pink now. Same thing, I'm just mixing it with glazing medium. And I'm going to go, it's just hard for me to see the pencil, so I'm kind of sticking my head in there. I hope I'm not bothering you. And so that's why I think I'm going to go away. And basically that's what I do. I let the brush do the work and try to be as neat, because I do like to paint neat. Like, I'm a neat painter. I like my lines pretty straight. And anywho, so I'll go ahead and paint this so you'll be able to see what I'm doing, and I'll be right back. All right, I've finished. I just did a sheer coat of the colors that I wanted to fill in the castle with. I did the clouds, I did the sun, well, flower, sunflower, and a couple little white pieces on the edge. But when I shade around it, and I just used the ultramarine, the very bright blue, it's kind of taken away from all that background color. So I'm not sure, because this is a smaller piece, that I should have done that. I know it makes it pop, like that's what I love. Like, actually, let me take this baby wipe. See if I can kind of, because it's just a watered down paint. I didn't really get much off. But anyway, so this is what I was doing. I take an angle brush, and I'm just loading it with, I'm going to do around the door, and I'm going to do the roofs. Actually, I'm not going to do the roofs, but I'll do around the door with that blue, the ultramarine blue. I corner load it on a wet brush. It's not dripping. You go into water, you blot it on a paper towel, then you take just a tiny little, oops, where's the camera? A little bit of paint, and then I blend it into my bristles on my palette, my paper palette. And I'm just going to go around the door like this. I'm going to paint bricks on. Like, after this, I'm going to paint the details on, because I want to put little flowers on those roofs. I want to put polka dots on the sun. I'm going to put, I think I am going to put the heart on the door. I like that, but I might do it, I don't know, smaller or something, I'm not sure. So there's that. And if you want to soften it out, you use a mop brush and you just soften the water's edge. But now that's kind of popping through, right? I'm going to take the magenta, and I have some on my palette here, and I'm going to do above, like anywhere it would be shaded. So I'll show you. Oh, it's on my palette over here. So I'm just corner loading again, blending it into the bristles of the brush with just water. I don't have any glazing medium or anything. And a lot of people do this with their pit pens, and I could definitely do this with, because I know I have a nice magenta pit pen that I could use, and it gives the same effect. It's kind of just like a darkening there so that it looks dimensional. Whoops, I keep forgetting. My paint is over there. And I just have used this technique because this is what I did for years, and it does the trick, and I'm kind of enjoying it, you know. I'm enjoying using the technique again, and so that's why I've kind of added it to my mixed media. And I'm just going to use the same color, even though I used magenta on these 3 areas. I'm going to be using it straight, like not diluting it, and so hopefully it'll show up. If not, I'll have to darken it up a little bit, because this needs to be shaded above the castle wall. Hopefully I'm in the shot. And there's a lot of water on my brush. It kind of dripped down. Yeah, that looks good. I'm just going to use this color on the whole castle, since some of the castle is the light pink. So like right here, if I just go, it sets it back. It sets it behind the other building, you know. You can't really go over an area if it's still wet. You'll pick up what you put down. Because the sun's coming that way, I'm just putting a little shadow next to the windows. I painted my windows white underneath because some of the, like, there was blue showing through. I think Maya might be leaving. You leaving, Bubba?
Yeah.
You are? Is Mommy on her way?
No, Daddy's dropping me off at the gym.
Alright, Maya had to get going, so I took a minute and then I painted on little daisies on these roofs, and I put polka dots on the cloud and on the sun. And I mean, you could do stripes, you could do any type of doodles that you want. That's the fun thing with this type of whimsy. Anything goes, but I'm still kind of floating the shading on, and I'm using that fuchsia color. Using an angle brush, and I'm going to corner load into the fuchsia and blend the color into my brush, and then I just dip my finger in. Okay, I'm going to just take and go under all these roofs. I put the corner of the brush, the angle part that I picked the paint up with, right up against the eave there. Oh, I forgot one other thing. I want to put, maybe I don't need it. I was going to put little, I don't know what it's, scalloping under the roof, but I put a flower on the roof instead, so maybe we don't need it. I like it though, but don't need it. It might look cool though. And then to set everything behind each other, you have to put a little bit. So this is the furthest back building, so I'm going to put a little shading here. Might as well go down this side. And this one is actually behind that one, so I have to, they're kind of, wait a minute. This is in front of that one, yeah. So I have to shade it up here, and it doesn't have to be perfect because this is in front of that one, so it wouldn't be shaded there. That's behind, no, this is behind that one, so that's on top. This is in front of that one, I think. Yeah. Okay, I think I got it. So look how dimensional it's starting to look. I have to get this one other part of the tower I'll do both ends of this. Probably could go along the bottom too. Cool. All right, so I went around the door. I want to go, I'll show you how I'll go around those flowers on the roofs. I'm going to use the, what's it, ultramarine blue, and try to be gentle. Try not to put too much paint, but I am what is known as a heavy hand, and I'm going to put the color up against the flower and walk it around gently and make it like the flower is sitting on top of the roof. Like it would, you know, like it would be, yeah. But anyway, it just kind of makes it pop. Let's do this one since I'm at a better angle. I have to stop at 8 o'clock because I want to watch Bravo. Behind the Actors Studio is having the cast of The Walking Dead. And I love The Walking Dead. And it's coming back Sunday night. And there's trouble. So, but I think I'll post this because these are all techniques that you pretty much know already, probably. And I love it. I think I'm just, I just made a really cute page for my art journal. And so I got that. So yeah, I'll go away and I'm going to shade everything. You know what, let me just take, I'm going to take this burnt sienna, which it's kind of like an orangey brown. It's one, or a reddish brown. It's one of my favorite browns. And I'm going to shade the windows and the sun. So I'm going to shade them. Let's see, where would the shading be if the light's coming from that way? I don't know. I'm going to do it on the left side or the right side. I don't really know. I'm running out of water on my brush, so that's why it's, but that looks good. And I want to put some on the sun too. And I think I'm going to go around the back edge of it this time. On the other one I went around the curved edge, but I think I want to go down the back edge like this, because I think the front edge should be shiny and bright. Like that edge should be bright, so I'm going to, maybe I'll highlight that. What else do I want? I want to put the bricks on. I have to put the bricks around. Here's all I do for that. I'm going to get out that gray. Not the Quaker gray. Hippo. And I'm going to use the, what's it called? Glazing medium again. I don't want it to be opaque. I want it to be sheer because then things show through, and that's the whole idea with the mixed media. You don't want to cover up all that work that you did. I mean, I kind of have. You can still see a lot of stuff through it. And we'll take a good look. I'm liking this art journal. It feels very secure. So, alright, I'm going to take some of the gray on my brush, and I'm going to take some of my glazing medium and just brush mix it on my palette. And then I'm going to go around, and I should have probably, oh, it's way too sheer. Alright, maybe I'm going to just use water, because I don't want it to be, it has to show up like a brick. And I'm just going to make little brick shapes going around this door. And some are thick and some are thin and some are tall and some are short and fat and square and rectangle. And it's kind of fun. This is actually the idea I got from one of my fairy doors that I did in polymer clay. I did this around in polymer clay around the door of the fairy door, and it really was a cool effect, so that's why I decided to do it to my castle. And they don't have to be perfectly shaped because these are kind of like a cobblestone-y look to them. That's what I'm picturing it as. So they're not like bricks, which I'm going to do some line work that'll look like bricks in a minute. But this is more of those, like a slate stone or the flat kind of paving stone-ish looking things. And I'm going to go over that with the white because I kind of made the white curve up over the bricks. And then I'm going to put a little chimney in this gray coming right out of the side of this roof. And I go straight and then I angle and I go up straight. I should probably mix a little white because you really can't see it. I'll mix a little white in it. It'll be a much lighter gray. But when I shade it, I'll shade it with a darker gray. But you got to be able to see it, or what's the point, right? And you still can't really see it. I'm going to put a little peak on that, like a little roof. And it's like a little cool chimney. I don't know. I like it. And when I outline it with the ink, it'll show up. See it? You can kind of see it. What else did I have? I think I'm going to shade my cloud. And I'm going to use that same gray color. I ended up putting a little pink though, didn't I? I think I want to use the gray though. I'm going to shade with the gray and highlight with the pink. I'll highlight with like a pink pearl. So here's what I do to shade. So to make it look like there's like puffy, it's a puffy cloud, right? So you gotta go, there would be a little shading under there. Oops, I kind of really wiped too much of the water away with my finger. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. And how about here too? And here. And then when I outline it, it'll be good. So you can't even really tell right now. Still, everything is really light because it's, hasn't been outlined or anything, and everything is so soft. It's just got such a soft coloring. It's not dark color. Anyway, what am I trying to say? Nothing. I'm not trying to say nothing. But it looks a little fluffier, sort of, kind of, you know? And then I highlighted it, like, let me get the pink pearl. I haven't really, I didn't like the way the pearlized, I used this on my other one, the pearlizing medium. I don't know. It didn't, you know what, I probably should have mixed them first, like mixed it up to be one substance. I brush mixed it and it didn't really show up. So let's see if this does what I want it to do. And I'm just going to pull this along the rounded areas. So like right there, right here. And make it like a sparkly cloud. It is so windy out, you guys. It is so wintry. It's very cold, and I think it's 40s in Alaska, and it's like 20s here in New Jersey. My husband's in Alaska. Anywho, so I have a space heater, even though I'm upstairs and in the front. This room has 4 windows in it, and a fireplace. So it's a little drafty. So I just put the space heater on and it makes it cozy. And it'll turn off. It clicks on and clicks off. So anyway, I'm going to do more of the same. And then what else did I want to do and show you guys? I'm going to come back when I'm outlining. All right, I'll be back. Okay, it's looking cute. I think this is going to make it look cuter. So I have my dip pen, and I'm going to dip it in this ink. This is the Speedball, and it's India ink, I guess, right? And I'm going to start at the top over here. Let me move that. I wanted to be able to have a little scrap paper. So I don't run my hand in it. I just want to kind of start where because I'm right-handed, I'll start on the left. I'm going to outline all these circles. And this texturized background is bumpy, you know, so I'm not using too much pressure, but boy, that ink just flows off of there so nicely. It really does. So I'm glad I tried this. It's definitely, you could use your pens, your food ball, your, I like the, I said it before, here's the food ball. The Uniball Vision is just my go-to now. Really good pen for mixed media. And, but I'm just kind of going with this right now. And just trying it. So look, now for like to do, let's see, the castle, I'll show you. I'm not going to do the whole thing on camera, but like I like to make sure I'm going in a direction where I feel comfortable making a straight line. You know what I mean? So I turn the book and make sure I can see where I'm going beforehand, and that way, like actually I could pull, I like to pull towards me, so you have that. And look how all of a sudden everything's neat and orderly again, right? So let's do this roof. This pen is so awesome. And if it went crooked, I still can take the a Q-tip. I always just use a Q-tip, and while it's still wet, you can wipe it away. So it's not bad to clean up. It's pretty easy. So let's see, a 45-degree angle, but I want to make sure I can see where I'm going. That's all, and make all these corners nice and sharp. Okay, that was my battery, but I went ahead and kept on lining everything, and I love it. I think it's turning out so cute. I kept it kind of a little more straightforward, like instead of putting the heart on the door. That's not to say I won't add a heart, but I just wanted to see what just the color. See, this is tricky when you have those bumpies. I love them though. I do like that technique. And I am really liking this dip pen, honestly. I mean, it is such black ink too. Like, it's so dark. Just have to hold it right. Oops. And when you go over, it's okay. I put some polka dots on my cloud this time, and I really love that. I think that's fun. I probably should have outlined the polka dots first before I did the, well, as long as I don't get my hand in it, right? How cute. So, what else would I do? I wrote on the other one, believe in your dreams, kind of just along the cloud there. You could write a little message, a little sentiment. Don't know if I will. Maybe I'll think about it. I have white India ink that I can also come in and add some highlights, detail highlights with. So I might do that. But it's almost 8 o'clock. Time flies when you're having fun. I think I got them all. Can I do this? Like I could even do more to those, like doodle in there, or you could Zentangle. I could make these into flowers. I could, what else? I think everything's outlined. Is that all I wanted to do? I like it. I should sign my name. Let me sign my name. I just usually write sAra and the date, or just the year, really. So like I'll write, I love my drippage. It turned out so cool. So I'll just write sAra. And I'm going to put the month and the year because this is my art journal. So 2/16. And you know, I could still do more highlighting on some other areas, but for the most part, I'm going to get my, I could come back and do some stamping on top to like set it into the background, like I did on this one. I didn't have a lot of blue. I came back and did the blue dots, and I did some of the blue plastic canvas marks. Oh, I didn't do my flag. I never made a flag, so I want to put a flag up here. But I like it. I think that's it. I think I'm going to call it done. And I hope you guys like that. Give it a try. I'm loving this journal. This journal held up fantastic. And, I mean, I still could highlight stuff. Do you like it? I love the colors, but I did lose a lot of the background color. The bright pink and orange. I mean, I can see it. Like I see pink, a little bit of yellow. I lost a lot of the yellow because I wanted to make it look like it was in the sky, whereas this one, look at that. Like I have a lot of the orange and the pink and the yellow, so I kind of like that better. But these pages are small. So, all right, that's it. Thanks for watching.